You know, it's always interesting when you come into small towns and you hear different names and whatnot. Well, one of the famous names that are here on the Breathtaking was Daintree, and that's the Daintree up far north Queensland. So Richard Daintree owned pastorals of land right in this area here, but he made his name up there and they named the Daintree River after him. And with his passion for photography and prospecting, what better place to start with? Well, we're heading up north now, we're heading up into the Gulf. Now, along the way, I'll tell you a little bit more history about Daintree.
G'day, my name's Jamie Hazelden and I've been travelling this great country for many, many years. And what I want to share with you is the great places that I've been to and the places that you can only imagine of getting to. I want to show you and introduce to you some of the colourful characters, sit round a campfire and reminisce and talk about the journey and the places that we're going to go to. So come along with me as I share this journey with you.
Proudly supported by and powered by Custom Lithium. Well, I've got to say the last few days have been pretty awesome. We've been at the Don River Dash and I was up there with the guys from Custom Lithium and just supporting them with what they're doing with their major sponsorship of the race. But how awesome was it? We had so much fun. A couple of incidents happened while I was in my buggy traveling the track. One, we were coming down the track and I could see this thing across the track and I wasn't sure what it was, but I'm going, that's a snake, you know, but Andy's beside me. We couldn't speak to each other because of the noise of the buggy. Anyway, we're getting closer and then sure enough, it's about a 3.5 metre carpet snake across the track. And of course, with the vehicles going past it, and I'm not sure if it did get run over, but it seemed pretty good. That riled it up, so I went over to try and grab it and take it off the track. Anyway, he wouldn't have a bar of it, so I wasn't getting too close to it because it was a big snake. Anyway, I managed to get a stick, hook it into it and take it over and put it over in the bush, so that was a good thing. But the other funny part was, we're travelling down, there's this guy waving away at us and we're thinking, that's strange. Anyway, so we turn around and go over to him and he's in this hire van and he's got himself bogged right down, and then we realised that he's actually on the track, the racetrack itself. So I don't know how it ended up there, but he did. And so we had to winch him off the track and get him out and get him back onto a road so that he could drive away, because he didn't have a four-wheel drive, that's for sure. But they're the funny things that happens. But anyway, enough of the chit-chat. I'm heading now up towards the airway to catch up with a mate of mine who knows the Gulf like the back of his hand. That's where we're heading. But I've got to go and meet him at this old World War II memorial site. So that should be interesting. Can't wait to get up there. Long time no see.
It is.
How you been?
Yeah, I'm good.
Got somebody else here?
Yep, this is Mark.
How are you, Mark?
Hey, how are you, John? Yeah.
All his property, well, mostly.
Yeah? I've noticed you brought us up to some bunkers. What's the story on the bunkers?
These were a radar, over the horizon radar in World War II, apparently.
Right.
Yeah, they're supposedly the igloos were where they had their tables and that with how they read their radar, and
right.
Then they had a power supply down in a bunker down on below the hill, little igloo, and ran power lines up here, and they had some towers at each end with some sort of aerials, I suppose.
Oh, is that what I saw as I was coming up?
Yeah, you've got another one on the other side, and there's another one of those like, I don't know, crow's nest or whatever up the other side too as well, right up on the point. There's another one up there, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Supposedly, I don't know, they look like machine gun turrets to me, but apparently they're not. They had some optical instrument there that they could sight planes or whatever coming on over the horizon, and they could work out between the radar and that how far away they were and whatever.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So do you know when they were sort of went out of use sort of thing, or?
Well,
just
at the end of the war,
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah. They had they built a bit of a village around here. When we first bought the farm, we cleared some country up there and had to pull up all the clay sewage lines and concrete slabs and
Yeah, right.
whatever. Yeah. So,
Wow.
and apparently they even had a tennis court here. I've got some day logs there that I'll give you to have a look at. The music teacher that taught our children music, she used to actually, as a young girl, come out here and entertain the troops with playing the piano on weekends. Yeah. Oh, would you like to come and have a look inside the igloo?
For sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, right.
We get the occasional campers spend a bit of time up here. Supposedly had a big table or something there, and they used to, I suppose, like you see on the movies, they ship the gear around on the horizon.
Yep.
The day logs give you a bit of I've only read little bits and pieces of it, but an old guy from, used to be PMG, the Telstra,
Yeah.
he gave them to me. He had a bit of a thing for the military memorabilia.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. He gave me a copy of them.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the old story. When you own it or you've had it, you never look at nothing. Because you've got it right on the doorstep.
Yeah.
So. Now, it was built by the Royal Australian Air Force in 1943, during the height of World War II, and it's part of Australia's northern defence system against Japan. It used advanced British ACO radar technology to detect the high-flying enemy aircraft, one of 2 such stations in North Queensland. The site featured 2 towering radar masts, reinforced concrete igloos, and housed sensitive equipment, and accommodation for 35 RAAF and WAAF personnel who worked in shifts around the clock. After Japan's surrender, the station was officially closed in October 1945. Today it stands as a preserved piece of wartime history thanks to the efforts of the Burdekin Tourism Association, offering visitors a glimpse into Australia's World War II defence legacy.
This is the other bunker here that I'm aware of.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, so you go in down here?
Yeah, apparently it looks like you go in through, be splitting the rocks down through and underneath and come up. To me, yeah, it looks like a machine gun thing, but
Oh yeah? Yeah, well you wouldn't know, would you?
No.
Because I would have said the same thing, they'd probably hook up a gun there somehow.
yeah, and historically this was a lot more trees on here. They died out after one of the cyclones. And then since then, a couple of lovely people light it up every now and then. We have a fire in the backyard.
Yeah, right. Look at that for a view though.
Yeah,
And your backyard right in the background.
that's it. Yeah, there's a council snipped off. They actually made it as a quarry reserve at one stage, and it was a campground for the local scouts for years.
Right. All right. We better let you get back
yeah,
to work.
Otherwise the young fella will give me a serve. And
No worries, thank you very much. Well, what a great little place to get to, Charlie's Hill. Now, I've seen the sign on the highway many times, but I've stopped right there on the corner thinking it was there, this war memorial of some kind, not to drive up a couple of k's up the road to come and check it out. But we've got a couple of thousand k's still to go, so we better hit them tracks and get on the road. Now back to Richard Daintree. Over the next few years, Daintree made a number of important discoveries across North Queensland. In 1867, he uncovered the Cape River goldfield, followed by the Gilbert goldfield in 1869, and then the Etheridge field shortly after that between 1869 and 1870. He was also the first to systematically investigate the coal seams near the Bowen River at what is now called Collinsville, laying the groundwork for future resources development in the region. The guy was incredible. The distance he's travelled, the places he's been, the things he's done are amazing. Hey John, you got a copy?
Yes.
How's the truck going? All right?
Yeah, good. She flew up the Harvey Range Road.
Yeah, it slowed me down a bit. I mean, the temperature got up a little bit, but it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, pretty hot out there too, though.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I haven't been out this way before. Is this the common way you come out here?
I haven't been on here for probably 15 years. Usually go Charters Towers and up through Greenvale.
Yeah, right. So going this way, what's the way that we're going to get there?
Road into Einasleigh, yeah. That's a good little spot.
Oh, is that camp tonight?
Yeah, probably will. Up to you.
Sounds like a plan.
And then we usually leave there and go through Forsyth and head for Croydon and go to the Potty Dodgers bar. That's usually where we stay.
All right, eh? Yeah, I haven't been out at any of those places. I haven't heard of them before. Or are they your names?
We're about to see them.
Sounds good. What's a road trip without a little roadside repair, right? Just one more reason to make sure you've got a solid set of tools, ones that are actually suited to your vehicle. All right, who can tell me where we are? Oh, we've put a new fuel tank in, but she's leaking on the old sender unit. Now this will be the second time we've had to tighten it up because it's dripping out down here. So hopefully we can get this to seal. Problem is if I go too much that way, it's definitely worse when I go the right way to do it up. Alright, well, at least the fuel out here isn't as expensive as it could have been. It's $2 a litre out here at the moment, but I think I've got that sealed up now. It wasn't reseating into the new rubber on the O-ring on the sender unit there. So anyway, it's a brand new tank and it's all in. It's not leaking anymore, so we should be good to go again. So it's a new tank because what happened, I was on another trip there and I'm not sure where it happened, but the sway bar actually rolled over itself and smashed up the tank. Made an absolute mess of it and crushed it all up and split it. So when I was down at the Melbourne show, it was leaking like a sieve. Back on the road, and I'm just hoping I've fixed that leak. I've still got a fair way to go before this tank runs out. Not much room for any more changes or repairs. You know, it can be a real pain when you have a little challenge like that, especially when you put something in new, but you just never know when these things can happen. So you just got to be prepared. It's always good to get onto a dirt road. Now this dirt road's about 70 kilometres, 74 kilometres in actual fact, and it's the Gregory Development Road. Now we've got quite a few corrugations along the way, but other than that it's not too bad. But it's late in the army, so the sun's really beating down, and with the dust it's pretty hectic. The guys behind me have dropped back a fair way now because of the dust. But we're going to go and make camp up at, well, we'll see how far we can get before we hook up and set a camp up for the night. But there's a bit of wildlife around, but it's other than that, we've made some good ground today and getting closer to where we're going up the Gulf there. You know, I'm not real sure, but I think you can tell I'm a bit excited for this golf trip. It's something I've been looking forward to for quite some time. With the sun setting on the horizon, we decided to put the Landy up front. Being a lighter vehicle, it's easier to slow down for that wildlife that might just jump out. And with the decent lighting, Jono could spot anything up ahead. He's able to keep in touch over the radio, letting us know what was coming up, and especially with the cattle on the sides of the road here. A few more hours driving and we've finally made it to camp for the night. This was our first morning in the northwest outback of Queensland. And I've got to say, it felt pretty good to be miles away from any town. You could hear the wildlife all around us. I took a walk down to the river where we'd camped last night just to see if there was anything worth throwing a line. But with nothing of real size biting, we packed up camp and hit the road once again. Well, that was a cracking little campsite we had there last night.
Yeah, it was. Pity we had to go in the dark with all those rocks.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. I mean, it's a bit hard to find a place like that when it's, had a grader down the road and it's blocked off where you enter, sort of thing.
Yeah, I was a bit worried about the trailer tires.
Yeah, for sure. But it was nice getting up this morning right there on the riverbed, and watching the fish go through and that.
Yeah, beautiful little spot. Changed over the years a lot, though.
Yeah, I bet it has. Well, we've got a few Ks to do, so we might just drop into the town down here.
Okay.
The township of Einasleigh, originally known as Copperfield, was laid out in the 1900s by the local mining warden on a newly established reserve near Einasleigh Company's copper mine. Though the company had only been formed the year before, the town was already coming to life. With 2 hotels, a store, a billiard room, both a butcher and a baker's shop under construction. Even funds were being raised for a school. Einasleigh briefly became the largest population centre in the Shire during the construction of Chillagoe Company's Etheridge Railway between 1907 and 1910. Now, as I was saying, back in air on the Breathtaking River, now, Richard Daintree was a pioneer in a lot of different ways. Now, he wasn't just a photographer. Back in 1862, he was a photographer that went out, took photos down in the goldfields in Victoria. Can you imagine the distance we're talking? We're up here in Queensland, way up top, and he was down there. Now, his photos went to an exhibition in London. He worked with geologists in the geological fields. Now, his photos were used in those fields for geology and all that sort of stuff. And to think about it, we're on the Einasleigh River here. Now, Daintree founded this in 1867. Now, what he found was deposits of copper. But the next place I want to take you to is a heritage-listed copper smelt just down the road here. The roads coming into Einasleigh from the south and the east are mostly dirt. So if you're keen to stay on the blacktop, your best bet is to come in from the north through Georgetown. Well, we just come across the bridge at Einasleigh and couldn't help but come down and have a look at this gorge. Now, this is Copperfield Gorge, and what a cracker of a place. Talk about a great place to come and have a swim. Like, it's getting up to about 35 today out here, but the fish are plentiful out there. But you've got to come and check this sort of place out. This is absolutely awesome. So I can only imagine what it's like in the hotter months for the locals. They'd be down here having a dip. We've got a bit of a waterfall happening behind us. Well, you can see right here, this is where the Einasleigh meets the Copperfield Gorge right here. But you can only imagine back in the day when Daintree was here, because he was right into his photography and geology, he would have got some absolutely incredible shots here, especially with these rocky outcrops. But I've got to dig up some of his photos just to check them out myself, because we're talking back in the 1800s. But we're going to wander down now and check out this smelter just down the road. It's quite fascinating just wandering around here. We're down here at the old copper smelter. Now, back in 1867, Daintree had got into here and got to the basalt wall, and that's where he found copper. Now, if you just look around this place, how it's exploded, he took on 120 acres. And in his first development, he hand-picked and chipped away at 31 tonne of ore. That's a lot to do by hand. And then out of that, he got 22% in copper, he got some silver, and he got some gold. Not a lot, I think it was about half an ounce of silver and about an ounce of gold. Just incredible. How hard those times were. Temperatures in Einasleigh during the summer can reach up to 40 degrees. That's 104 Fahrenheit. And that kind of heat really takes a toll on the body, especially considering this was back in the 1800s with far fewer comforts than we have today. And to think that's a lot of heat coming out of that smelter to create that copper. It's just fascinating, all the different colours. You can just see it shimmering through the sunlight. This whole place was established in 1867 as well. Now, it had a couple of names, the Linz Copper Mine and the Einasleigh Copper Mine. We were trying to figure out what these rocks were. So we gave a call to a good mate of mine over in WA. He told us the rocks were actually the remains of molten slag from the copper that was mined here. You know, this is the fascinating part where Jeff from over in WA at Seriously Series, he is so good with all this stuff. He's like a history book, and that's what I love when I travel with him, is because he's a geologist and he just knows all about the rocky outcrops and what this is and how that works, and it's really great. Jeff said, judging by the footage, there was probably a massive kiln here. They would have used it to break away the copper from the other minerals. Then they'd pour out the leftover molten material onto the ground, creating these tile-like patterns we're seeing now. They really do look like some homemade tiles. The copper, along with any other valuable minerals, would have been packed into hessian bags and carried on horseback into the town's train station. Back in 2006, this place became heritage listed. Now, I could only encourage you to come and check the place out, but the one thing you want to be is respectful, because the old farmer that's got this place, it's on private property. And if you ask, he's happy to let you through to come and have a look, because it's something to see and just have a wander around, and it goes into quite a large area. But I've just wondered what some of the stuff is, and I would really love to know if anyone knows what this is down here. The only thing we could figure is that it might have been some small hut of some sort. It's only about 4 metres square. If you've got any ideas, drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. The Einasleigh mine operated for many years, and with the railway arriving in 1910, transport became a lot easier, but it was still a tough and remote operation. With the Chillagoe smelter shut down in 1914, mining here came to a halt. Later, the Queensland government stepped in and reopened the Einasleigh State Mine. The global copper prices had taken a dive after the war, and so the mine finally closed for good. Well, I think we go down, see the publican at the pub, and see if he's got a story or two he could share with us. It must have been a warm one for John. He made it to the pub before me, and he even had a cold one already on order. All right, well, we've just come into Einasleigh, and I couldn't resist but stopping in and seeing the publican, which is Stardy.
G'day.
And have a bit of a chat, and I'm sure we'll get a story or two out of him, because he's been here a few years. See a few on the travels through here.
Locals come and go as we're getting older. We have train come through, a fair few tourists.
Yeah. What's the train that comes in?
The Savannah Lander.
Savannah Lander. Yeah, right.
It comes from originally Cairns to Forsyth, but last floods we lost a few bridges, so
yeah,
working on the government to fix a few of them.
Yeah, okay.
Going again.
Yeah, right. And I see that the races are on this weekend.
We've got the races. We got washed out at Easter. We had over 100 years of the races at Easter.
Yeah.
We got washed out 2 years in a row, so see how it goes, because we've never had a race this time of the year.
Because it's starting to warm up a bit now. And so what else gets on and happens around this place these days? Like, I know it was big back in the day for copper and all that sort of
Big
stuff.
day for copper and had 5 pubs, but
5 pubs?
yeah. Now it's a little tourist spot really. We've got the gorge just across the front of the pub there, which is absolutely beautiful. It's got water in all year round.
And I'm guessing that's the local swimming hole for sure.
Yeah, all the kids have been brought up, but
yeah,
no one's been eaten by the crocodiles yet, but
yeah, you had some in there?
oh, it's only freshies.
Oh yeah, yeah, right.
A lot of tourists don't understand that they won't kill you.
Yeah, okay.
So it's good for a laugh and tell them after.
So I hear in the other room there, miniature settings were made by your father.
Yeah, he was a hobbyist and did miniatures. It's a worldwide thing. Queen Mary started it. It's all 1/12 scale.
Wow. Should we go and have a look at some of them?
Yeah, we can have a look.
All right.
The Einasleigh Hotel is just a short stroll from the stunning Copperfield Gorge. It's home to something truly unique, a remarkable miniature furniture collection of museum quality and full of intricate detail. It's hidden treasures you won't want to miss. Now, the publican was telling me that his dad built everything to scale, and if it could move, then it was made to move. These scale models were incredible. The level of detail that went into them must have taken him years, not just to make, but to make them perfect. From a tin of baked beans to a mop.
Well, thank you so much for your time. It's been a popping in. Oh, it's great. Well, we're going to catch this train and check it out now.
You should do that.
Thanks for that. All right, see ya.
The Savannah-lander was introduced by Queensland Rail on April 3rd, 1995, replacing the old Forsyth Mixed, once marketed as the last great train ride. At the same time, the line from Mareeba to Mount Surprise was closed. The new service was initially operated with a refurbished 2000 class rail motor, fresh out of the Townsville workshop. Originally, it only ran between Mount Surprise and Forsyth, but in September 1998, after the line was upgraded to carry sugar syrup trains from Cairns to Warringah, and with the partial restoration of the rest of the route, the Savannah-lander began its full journey from Cairns all the way to Forsyth. But after the last rainy season, a few of the bridges took a real beating from all the rush coming down the river system. Right now, the line stops just here on the south side of the river. And it is a sight to see when you see a train pull up, smack bang, right on the side of a track. Richard Daintree's legacy as a prospector, photographer and a pioneer geologist, he captured the spirit of Queensland's earliest days through both science and art. Though his later years were marked as hardship, his enthusiasm, skills and friendship left a mark that outlived him. The Daintree River, the national parks and its place within the wet tropics World Heritage Area stand as a lasting reminder of his name and the enduring story of a man who helped shape Australia's north.
Well, I hope you enjoyed a bit of pioneering and a little bit of history. So make sure you subscribe, and down below is our shop. Now that helps us on our journeys. There's t-shirts, there's badges, stickers, hoodies, and lots more to come. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.